Hi friends, we are from Group 3 English Literature for A and today we are going to discuss a Metadiscourse model. From this video, there are 6 material will be explained, so please enjoy.
Before delving into the material, allow me to introduce our dedicated team members. We have Gita Janah, Yesha Ashilla Husaeni, Fadilla Putri Hayati, and Shobilatul Fadhilah, all bringing their expertise to ensure a comprehensive learning experience for you. Together, we're committed to guiding you through this session with clarity and insight.
Through this session, students will grasp Metadiscourse fundamentals and learn practical application to elevate their writing proficiency.
Let's start with the first material, namely the key principle of Metadiscourse. Basically, metadiscourse is a term that is used to negotiate interactional meaning in a text and help describe the words used by a writer or speaker to express a point of view that engages the reader as a member of a particular community. The underlying concept of metadiscourse is the functionally oriented perspective that sees the writer interacting with the reader, as well as the three main principles of metadiscourse, according to Helen and Say in 2004. Propositional material and communicative content are important starting points for theory building and analysis, but the notion of proposition is still under theories and rarely elaborated. Sinclair's explanation offers a dynamic view of how language works by suggesting how we create text by laying out our material and negotiating relationship so that others will want and understand it. He also offers a text model that rests on two basic components. Sinclair represents these areas diagrammatically as shown in figure 3.1. However, we also need to remember that propositional and metadiscourse elements appear together in the text. Both elements are essential for coherence and meaning. Like propositional discourse, metadiscourse convey the author's intended meaning. It is the means by which propositional content becomes coherent, comprehensible, and persuasive to a particular audience. The second principle of metadiscourse is that metadiscourse should be seen as embodying the interaction necessary for successful communication. In contrast, Helen and Say suggest that metadiscourse should be interpersonal as it should take into account various needs. In some cases, then so-called textual devices deal with the logic of discourse. They work to cement the text together. In other cases, they concern the logic of life. They function to extend, elaborate, and enhance propositional meaning.
As a writer, monitoring readers' responses is very important. As such, the writer shows sensitivity to the reader's understanding and explicitly seeks to involve them. In the above statement, the writer succeeds in making the readers feel sympathetic toward their point of view, and in the statement below, the author could have made an effort to avoid information that could potentially derive from competing information or interpretation. As in figure 3.2, in summary, so-called textual devices organize text as a proposition by connecting statements about the word and as metadata by connecting statements to readers. They do not function independently of this function. In addition, the most important things in a discourse is interactive. The condition for a text to be considered interactive are, we can see the statements in below. Point 3. Metadiscourse distinguishes external and internal relation. Internal relations connect events in the text and are purely communicative, while external relations refer to the situation themselves. Conjunctions are a clear example of this division as they can serve to connect steps in an exposition. Temporal conjunctive has an internal and external interpretation. That is, the time they refer to is the temporal unfolding of the discourse itself, not the temporal sequence of the process referred to. For the example, the conjunction above expresses the connection between activity and process and it thus experience-oriented. In contrast, the examples below establish connection between aspects of discourse and express metadiscursial function. They establish logical relationships that are internal to the step in their argument. The conjunction therefore signals that the writer is drawing a conclusion from the presenting argument. The function of discourse features can be seen from the use of sequencing conjunction. It is used to organize arguments or information to the reader. As a result, the information contains a step in a certain process or connect a word even. For the example, the last internal and external references are basically interrelated and can cover a process in a discourse such as step. Conversely, by constructing an argument, the writer more clearly presents the material to the reader. And here's also the additional information.
The next one is classification of metadiscourse. Metadiscourse serves as the bridge between the writer, the text, and the reader. In this video, we delve into the classification scheme that sheds light on its functional nuances. The classification scheme outlined here provides a comprehensive framework for understanding metadiscourse. It emphasizes the functional approach, contextual nuances, and the distinction between interactive and interactional resource as proposed by Thompson and Fadilla. In the interactive dimension, writers tailor their text to suit the needs and expectations of their audience. By being aware of readers' knowledge and interests, they shape their discourse to communicate their ideas and interpretation effectively. Meanwhile, the interactional dimension of metadiscourse reveals the writer's voice and personality. By engaging with readers, writers express their views, anticipate objections, and construct a dialogue with the text. The dimension adds depth and richness to the written communication. The next we have metadiscourse resources. Metadiscourse resources serve as the building blocks of effective communication, whether written or spoken. In this section, we will explore the various rhetorical features that contribute to coherence and persuasion in discourse. Interactive resources that play a crucial role in shaping discourse for the intended audience. These resources are tailored to guide readers through the text, ensuring comprehension and alignment with the writer's intention. Transition markers serve to elucidate the logical flow of arguments, guiding readers through additive, causative, and contrastive relation with the discourse. These markers facilitate comprehension and coherence in the text. The next frame markers assist in the structuring the discourse by delineating text boundaries and organizing argument. Through sequencing and labeling, they enhance clarity and coherence for the reader. Endophoric marker guide reader through discourse by referencing previous or forthcoming material. By enhancing saliency and coherence, they contribute to the reader's understanding and writer intention. Evidentials serve a metalinguistic representation of ideas sourced from the external authorities. By contributing position and distinguished sources, they establish the writer authority and guide interpretation with the discourse. And now we have the code gloss that play a vital role in clarifying meaning and enhancing reader comprehension. By providing additional context and explanation, they ensure that the reader can fully grasp the writer's intended message. The interactional resource play a crucial role in engaging reader and shaping the writer's stance with the discourse. In this section, we will delve into the various subcategories of interactional resource and their function in communication. Edges serve to qualify the certainty of proposition within the discourse, allowing writers to present information as opinion rather than absolute fact. By employing hedges, writers acknowledge alternative viewpoints and open the door for the negotiation, thus adding nuances to their arguments. And the boosters serve to assert the writer's confidence in the presented proposition, emphasizing certainty and closing down alternative viewpoint. By employing boosters, writers convey the authority and conviction in their argument, thus reinforcing the stance within the discourse. Attitude marker add emotional depth to the discourse, conveying the writer's reaction and sentiment toward proposition. By employing those markers, writer can engage readers on the affective level and shape their interpretation of the text. Next, self-mention plays a significant role in shaping the author's presence and identify within the discourse. By consciously choosing to include or omit the self-reference, writer project a particular stance and establish rapport with the audience. And we have engagement markers actively involve reading in the discourse, fostering a sense of participation and collaboration. By addressing reader directly and guiding their interpretation, writer can effectively navigate the discourse and shape reader engagement.
An illustration metadiscourse in postgraduate writing. Metadiscourse refers to use of language that involves writers interacting with their own text and with readers. In the text of advanced writing, metadiscourse is crucial as it helps new writers to understand and practice the communicative convention and norms of the particular academic or professional community. In academic or professional writing, writers must be able to adapt their style and language to conform to the standard accepted by their disciplinary community. Metadiscourse holds a mirror to this process, revealing how writers try to negotiate proportional information in a way that is relevant and meaningful to their readers who are in particular disciplinary. Is it important to note that metadiscourse is often a long clause or sentence? Among the types of transition, the most common is hedging, which accounts for 41% of all uses. This demonstrates the importance for author to separate fact from opinion and respect other points of view in academic writing. The use of transition in academic arguments is particularly important as they help to clearly convey internal relationship within the text to the reader. Words such as may, could, and would are often used to carefully convey claims and respect the views of readers or reviewers. The limits of description. Such a description has the limitation of forcing a separate category, language fluency, which is unavoidable. This can hide the multifunctionality of language, making simultaneous meaning elusive in binary judgment about the use of a device. Writing effectively involves the ability to understand the needs of reader, but in reading exposition and participating in dialogue, sometimes language devices are used to fulfill both functions at once, causing overlap between categories. It is important to note that language use is not always limited to clearly separated categories, but often exhibits complex nuance and function. Interacting effectively means being able to foresee the needs of reader, but to follow the exposition and participate in dialogue. Summary and conclusion. This chapter has shown a metadiscourse model that focuses on how writers use language to interact in their writing. In many important communication situations, such as in academic or professional writing, interaction involves a process of positioning, taking a point of view related to the issue addressed in the text as well as to the views of others on this issue. Thank you for watching this learning video. We hope you find the information useful.